struggled a little bit in practice, and I learned a couple things from the first RedBud. So we tried a different shock in the second practice session, and I ended up running it in the first moto. And right away, I knew I was like, man, this was a mistake. And I was pumped up pretty good, and I was honestly just I almost passed Jet, and then I knew Dylan was on me, and unfortunately, we came together on that, going down that inside there. I knew that the line, there was one more option inside, but I knew that they came together, and I basically had the tightest line that was going to be in that turn. So, and then, I went down, and I was just in damage control at that point, and then ended up 11th, and then Moto 2, switched back to the old shock and got a good start, and was able to get in the lead and win the moto.
Awesome. It looks like we've had both Dylan and Shane join us as well. So we'll move to Dylan next. Dylan was second overall on the day. Dylan, once again, you didn't have the easiest day, but managed to do some damage control, both motos, kind of like we've seen many times this season so far. Can you walk us through your day and how both motos went for you?
Yeah, I just joined you now because I land in California. I hope you hear me good. Yeah, toughest day again yesterday. My crash from RedBud 1 was a little bit a problem. I hurt my shoulder, and from that was a little bit difficult for me. But yeah, I just saved my championship. I wasn't in the best position because I rode a little bit with the pain, but obviously when I was with the adrenaline and getting into the race, I had no problem, and that was good. I could ride like I know, but it was a too difficult RedBud. Losing the red plate at some point was definitely not good. But yeah, I think I saved my championship, regardless my crash and my small injury. So we have 10 days now, 11 days, I think, to recover and get ready for Millville.
Awesome. And then we will move over to Shane. Shane, third overall on the day. Great start, great ride in that first moto. We're able to grab the win. Second moto, obviously, got off to a little bit slower start and weren't able to quite get up as far. But overall, it seems to be that you're kind of getting things figured out. Things are starting to click. How did that feel to grab that first moto win this weekend?
It was definitely good for momentum, for confidence, for everything. It was a tough track yesterday, and I think everybody else will kind of had their struggles with it also. And it was nice to start up front in the first moto, and it wasn't easy by any means, but it's like we were all up there running the same pace. And I mean, we all were making mistakes and kind of running the same lines. And it was kind of the same scenario in the second moto. Just a bad start made it that much worse. I mean, everybody, I think, struggled with passing yesterday. It was just kind of weird how the track developed. So it was a tough track when you didn't get a good start. And that's really what hurt me in the second moto. I spun as soon as we took off, and going over the gate, I was already a wheel behind everybody. So it was pretty unfortunate because I felt really good after the first moto. I'm not really that good in the first motos normally. It takes me a while to get going, and that's something that we're working on. But it was cool to get a good start and to run the pace for a while. And RJ made a few mistakes, and that's what really kind of helped me out at the end, because it was tough because we were catching each other, then somebody would pull away, then we catch each other, and it was a weird race. But RJ making those big mistakes really kind of brought us all back together. So it was nice to get the lead with just over a lap to go, and I was like, all right, that we're doing everything we can to stay here. So it was good overall. I'm pretty bummed with how the second moto went just from the get-go. It was a tough moto, but I was surprised I got on the podium, and yeah, I'm ready to go racing at Millville.
And we'll go ahead and open it up for any questions that you guys might have, and we will go ahead and start with you, Johnny.
This is Johnny with 2.4 Speed and MX Unfiltered. RJ, just kind of piggybacking off of what Shane said, can you walk us through that first moto with a couple laps to go? Were you thinking about, oh man, I'm going to win the moto? Did that have anything to do with potentially making the mistake, or were you just focused on pushing, trying to ride hard to win?
I mean, I wasn't really like, yeah, I'm going to get this win. Man, to make the same mistake three laps in a row is kind of ridiculous. I don't really have an answer for you. All I had to do is chop the throttle, half second. I would have been perfectly fine. But, I mean, I'm lucky to even stayed on the bike because I checked the tree that, the third time whenever Shane did get by me. But it just was that bank. It was weird. I was my bike setup was a little bit low in the rear also to start that moto. So I was struggling to, kind of get out of my corners. And yeah, just on the exits, I would get on it and it would squat in the rear and I couldn't really control it. I think someone else blew out the bank, before I did. And yeah, I mean, you should have learned from the first time. But other than that, I don't think I really had many mistakes. It was just literally the one spot, 3 laps in a row. And, I pulled out a little gap and then made a mistake, then got it going again, made another mistake. So, I mean, I gave that one away. And like I said, just got to limit those mistakes. And, if I make it once, not make it 2 times after that. It's kind of common sense now.
Hey, man, well, congratulations. It was probably a privateer that blew out the berm anyway. Shane, this is kind of a loaded question, I would say. But as far as overall points, do you think it would be interesting and good for the sport if we paid overall points as opposed to moto points? Because you would have actually made more points finishing third if they paid overall points. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, essentially it would be like Supercross scoring, but with the 2 moto format. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really what outdoors is about. I mean, it's twice the length, twice the guys, and therefore twice the points. So, I mean, you've seen it with Dylan and J-Mart. I mean, a 15-point swing in one weekend between 2 motos isn't like unseen or unheard of. And same with the 450 class. Like, I mean, Zach went 1-1 and the next weekend he only scored 30 something points. So it's truthfully it's good. I mean, it obviously separates a lot of people because there's some people that can only do 1 moto good and then maybe a good start and kind of run the pace for a little bit. But I mean, J Mart's won 2 championships pretty dominant, and that doesn't just come from kind of squeaking by. So I mean, it's with Supercross, there's guys that can get away with kind of shorter stuff, but outdoors, I mean, it's a totally different system, but I think it really kind of plays into the sport from a different perspective than Supercross does. And it suits different guys. It brings a different crowd. I think for us as racers, we look forward to outdoors towards the end of Supercross just because we need a change. I mean, we go all year and we get excited for change. And I mean, by the end of outdoors this year, I mean, I don't think we're ready for Supercross because of the year that we've had, but we look forward to both styles of racing. And me personally, I enjoy both. I mean, I've always done better at Supercross, but I hate to look at myself as a Supercross rider because I want to be good for 2 motos. I want to be good for 12 rounds. And this year it's a little shorter, but I mean, it's a different set of goals also.
Awesome. I appreciate your insight. I've got more questions, but I want to be respectful to the other guys. So thank you.
And we'll go ahead and move to you, Dan.
Yeah, I'll start with RJ. RJ, This year you're third. You were fourth overall last year, so you're not like extremely better, but you seem to be a lot more relevant this year, both indoors and out. A lot more consistently towards the front. Besides the bike, I mean, obviously the GEICO bike's good this year. Jeremy's leading the championship. Besides the bike, though, what would you attribute your consistency and kind of your rise to the front of the pack this year?
I mean, there's a lot of things. Kind of just my mental side to it, and how to have an Alden. That definitely helps out. I mean, I ride with Zacho and Coop every day, and Sim and like we ride with the best guys. So I think that's what it was getting the race situations into practice every day and just having that intensity. I find it, I'm a little bit more comfortable now whenever we go racing.
Would you say that you're doing more work this year with Alden, or just more efficiently working?
Oh no, definitely more work. I mean, you train as hard as what you know, and that's what I was doing, and just kind of another level once I came over here.
Nice. And Jeremy, I kind of missed the beginning of this. We have a fire surrounding my house here in Oregon, and we're about to have to be evacuated. You in California understand that. But Jeremy, let's talk about that pass. I didn't hear if you talked about this, the pass or the attempted pass by Dylan. From your point of view, how did you see that? Obviously, he thought he had the line. You didn't obviously either see him or whatnot in that moment.
I mean, yeah. So I'd almost made the move on Jet, and then I didn't quite get by him, and then I lost a little bit of ground, and then I knew Dylan was on me, and I was pumped up. I had some arm pump. I had a different shock on, and it just wasn't good. It was too low in the rear, and I was struggling a little bit. But I was going to take there was the very inside, and I took the second one right over, and I shut off, and the lines were basically, they met into the first turn, or into the inside. And, it was a bit unfortunate for sure. I actually, what happened was when he came in, we hit some braking bumps. We were getting in there, and his right handlebar smashed my elbow. And then when it hit that I was like game over at that point, and then I went down, and then he ended up going down. And then I actually went and watched the footage after the race, and I was pretty heated. I was definitely like, I know Dylan is faster, he is better. So I was a little bit surprised that he threw it in right there, because we all know that he's got good corner speed and he's crazy fast. So I got up and I tried to do what I could do, but just move on.
Yeah. And Dylan, from your perspective, what did you see there? And if you could do it all over again, would you have waited for somewhere else on the track?
Like Jeremy say, I don't really know also what really happened, because I came in a corner and I expect to have more speed, and we touched. I don't know. It's difficult to explain. I think it was a racing incident for sure. I should have maybe waited a little more to try to pass, but I wasn't in my best position yesterday. So I don't know. Maybe I was a little bit too much. Want to pass as soon as I get the opportunity. So I don't know. Nothing else to say.
Yeah, I think you have the record for most people passed in the first 5 rounds in history. Thanks.
Maybe, I don't know.
Thanks, guys.
Weege?
Yeah, thanks, Jason from Racer X. I'll just start with you, Jeremy, but I'd like to ask all you guys, what was the doubleheader like? Did it feel any different physically to race on Monday, or most people were thinking it wouldn't? Jeremy, what did you think?
I mean, it was fine. I mean, I'm willing to adapt to any situation. I welcome change. I welcome all that stuff, but I'm not going to deny it. Like I flew in Thursday, and then we raced Friday, and then we hung out Saturday, hung out Sunday, and I was going stir crazy in the hotel room and stuff, and raced Monday. But I definitely don't mind the schedule that we're on right now, as far as like racing one day a week and then kind of getting home and getting back to work and, feeling stuff out and then kind of getting back on the weekend. But the doubleheader was cool, 2 weekend. We got basically banged out 2 races, boom, back to back. And then now we got a weekend off. So works out.
Did you feel just as fresh Monday as you did the Friday race?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I was maybe not quite as fresh, but I was as good as I was going to get.
Yep. RJ, I'll ask you the same thing. How did you feel physically in the Monday race?
Yeah, no, I felt pretty normal. It was honestly kind of cool just to have 2 days that were pretty chill. Usually we get home and Sunday would be our travel day, and most of the time Monday we're back at the track. So it was nice to have those 2 days off. Actually, I felt almost more recovered for that Monday race than what I was for Friday. But yeah, I mean, same thing Jeremy said. It was kind of cool just to be something or to do something different. It's usually just a Saturday show, so to have that doubleheader to look forward to was pretty cool. And then yeah, now we get to enjoy the weekend off.
And Shane, how did you feel with the doubleheader? Did it get to you at all?
I felt pretty good actually. I think, yesterday was a little harder on my body than the first day. I think that kind of had to do with the track, and it also
I think we lost Shane.
We lost Shane. Here, I'll
Can you all
bring on
hear
another
me?
one. There we go.
So yeah,
Yep.
it just cut out. Sorry.
Yep.
But yeah, I felt pretty good. I think the cooler temperatures on Friday, I think that really helped out. I mean, that and the track on Friday wasn't as deep and as I guess wet as normal RedBud. So I think those two things really played into like recovery. I mean, we didn't really have a massive load like we would on a really hot and rough outdoor track. So yesterday was tougher because of the warmer weather, and the track was weird. I mean, all the corners had like 3 corners in one, and it was just like a lot different track. So coming into Monday though, I honestly felt really good. Even by Sunday, like just having the day off Saturday and then waking up Sunday, it's like, dude, I feel pretty good. So I was pretty happy about it.
Okay. Hey, Dylan, this one's for you with the shoulder. Do you think it's going to affect your riding or prep? You obviously rode well over this weekend and salvaged it, but going forward, is it something you think you'll mess with your schedule a little bit, getting ready for the final rounds, Dylan?
No, I don't think so, because we saw that 2 races in a row, I was able to race and perform at my best. So I was more struggling mentally yesterday because I didn't know if I could handle the tomorrow physically with my shoulder, and that was more the problem, that what caused me to maybe not being 100% confident at the start, or maybe I didn't trust myself enough. But I feel, I did my tomorrow great. The speed was great. Physically, I was there till the end. So no, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Now it's about to recover. I think my last 3 races was really hard on my body physically, and I always been there and always feel good. So I just think now it's about to recover on my small injury on my shoulder, and be ready for the next one. Also for sure improve on the start. But no, I think physically it won't be a problem. We worked so hard to prepare this outdoor that take a 1 week or more of rest without riding or without walking is not going to be a problem.
Okay, and I got one more. This is for you, RJ. I mean, really, the crowd is a huge part of RedBud, and there was a small crowd there of the amateur racers. They didn't even get, I think, as many people as they hoped, and they knew they weren't getting a big crowd. Does that have an impact? Like that first moto was such a great battle. You get to celebrate in the podium winning. Does it feel different to have a smaller crowd at a race like that?
I mean, honestly, we had a pretty good, I don't know if it was for everybody, but I know at the end of that second moto, whenever Dylan and I were kind of going at it, just the small amount of fans that were there, they were going crazy. So, that was cool. But I think the biggest thing is just like the podium celebration. I mean, we're not looking at fans, we're looking at cameras, and that's about it. So, I mean, I wish we did have fans there for that. And, you know, of course, to put on a better show. But, man, I'm just, you know, thankful we get to go racing still.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.
And then we'll go ahead and go back to you, Johnny.
Thanks. Dylan, has your strategy changed at all? You've definitely been making life hard on yourself by starting mid-pack and in the motos, but you're definitely keeping it interesting for all of us fans.
No strategy. There is no difference. The goal is always to start up front and win the moto. So no, there is no strategy. The only thing is now I know my main reroad is Jeremy. So I know when he's in front of me, it's not good. So I need to be in front of him, and that's all matters. We are 6 point? 6 point now, or I don't remember. And yeah, that's the only thing matter. But no, when I'm on the gate, the strategy is always the same, trying to get the best start as possible. I know just being in top 5, top 8 at the start is enough for me. So just do that and win moto. That's all I wanted to do, and that's my goal, my only goal.
Awesome. Well, best of luck. My last question,
Thanks.
I'll go back to you, Shane. Was there any sort of agreement in the pit saying strategy as far as maybe let's not go for the Larocco's leap? I mean, you guys were doing it on Friday, but you were saying the track's a little bit deeper. And I know your teammate, Masterpool, he looked like he washed out trying to go for it on the outside. Was it something that you decided before the moto not to do, or was it just sort of in the moment?
It's kind of in the moment. I mean, once you get out there, you kind of feel how the line's going to be. I mean, especially for the first moto, they prepped the inside, and I think that was where I passed RJ back because he went wide, and I knew that they had prepped the inside. And Ty, he's kind of a young kid that's kind of fearless, and I mean, each practice these last 2 rounds, we'd come back, hey, Ty, did you hit the lead? Because he's the one who will try it even if it was muddy. So for me, I mean, I'm obviously a lot bigger than Ty, but I jumped it one time yesterday and I barely made it. I actually clipped it a little bit, and I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. And that was in the second moto. So it really comes down to being in the moment. I mean, the second moto, I went wide to try and jump it, and people would dive on the inside and fade out and pass me. So it's one of those, like, you have to be really careful, especially in the lights class, because that can make up a lot of time, but it's also you can also give away positions by just trying to go outside to do it.
Makes perfect sense. Thanks, guys.
Any other questions from anybody? Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, on that note about the leap, Jeremy, when you guys get back to the truck and you see all the Star Yamahas hucking the leap, and you know you're basically losing, I don't know, maybe 0.4, a half second each lap there. Maybe it's more. I don't know. Is that something you guys talk about? Like, why are those Yamahas getting over it and we're not?
No, I mean, it's you don't. I mean, you know that I knew that they were going to pull the trigger on it. I mean, I know what the bike, the power, what it has and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's no way. I mean, I know my brother did it, but there's no way I could have made it. I mean, I know 100%. I know I've done it before. And I did it a lot when I was on the Star bike, but I didn't have it, you know, and it's just like qualifying, you know, those boys in the morning when she's deep and she's soft. Yeah, the GEICO Honda is fast, man. Like, it's the fastest GEICO Honda I've rode since I signed with the team in 2017. And, yeah, you know, we're just doing what we can, and I have to try to make it up everywhere else. And, you know, the guys riding the Star bike, they know. They So, yeah.
All right, I'll stay with you. What do you do during this week off?
Oh, man, it's just for me, it's just back to work. I mean, it's raining here right now. I'm looking out the window, and yeah, it's like it's full on starting to be like fall up here in Minnesota. So just gonna enjoy the week, get back to work, see if we can find some more speed, and get ready for the home race.
And real quick for Shane, I'm pretty sure it was you last week. Dylan got into on the start. You guys kind of got together and he went down. And he said in the press conference last week that he was too angry to talk to you. Did you guys ever talk?
No, we never talked.
No? Never got it cleared up.
I mean, I don't see that as being my fault. I mean, I hit a slick patch and I kind of slid out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see that as being anybody's fault. I mean, we're all coming out of the first corner and trying to race to the second corner. And I mean, stuff like that happens all the time. You see pile up start, and unfortunately that time it was us two. So, yeah. I mean, I don't really see a need to talk about that.
Yeah, it was the first turn. I was just wondering if maybe it got cleared up and you guys smoothed it out. Everything's where it was though.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have anything against each other, so
nice.
I mean, I haven't heard anything about it.
All right, fair enough. Thanks, guys.
All right. Shane, RJ, Jeremy, Dylan, appreciate you guys taking the time to join us tonight, and you guys are good to go, and enjoy the weekend off.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.